Okay, everybody, so we are back for another CBC podcast. This is the pre-San Diego Comic-Con Spectacular. It's going to be a show
Spectacular.
filled with all sorts of great stuff, such as Thor 4 news, Venom 2, Marvel Phase 4, what we think it might be, and some of the potential leaks, and a little bit of DC talk here, because we couldn't leave the DC fans hanging with nothing, although it's probably not what you're looking forward to, because they're not showing up at San Diego, but we'll make the best of what we got here for topics. So, as always, I'm your host, Armin. Find me at Arminis and at Comic Book Cast, or Comic Book Cast, Google just one word and you'll find everything. I'm here with Mitch.
What's up? You can find me at Mitch692.
Also Tristan.
Hey guys, you can catch me at SG Chance.
And Shay.
Hey guys, you can find me on Instagram at Mache1602.
So, I can't update since we did those weird predictions for Spider-Man all that time ago, and I was like, what the hell are the numbers even going to be? So, if we count, like, the weird 6th day it came out, it ended up following the ballpark of right where I was, at, like, 185-ish. But then again, like, there was this whole weird disconnect with the worldwide and everything, so the movie ultimately made, like, close to 500 million in its opening week, even though it was out for 10 days at the time. So who the hell really knows? But hey, Spider-Man is doing real good at the box office. Like, it's got to hit $1 billion. So
Yeah.
So I can't remember what I said the opening was going to be.
I think you said like 200-ish.
Did I? I mean, that probably sounds about right, actually.
So, I mean, we were all right there. So everything kind of, if you add or subtract some days, depending on how you looked at the weekend, we were all in the ballpark. So, but yeah, so Spider-Man doing pretty good. We'll talk more about it when it passes all the other films and gets to that billion and what that means for Marvel. But for now, let's get into the actual topics we got for this. So, right before San Diego Comic-Con, we get the big news that Warner Brothers is not really moving forward with their anime adaptation of Akira, which they've been attempting to do for,
Since 2001.
I was going to say, it's
Yep,
been
yep.
probably about 20 years. So,
Yep.
they were officially about to start, like,
Yep.
in a couple
I think-
of weeks.
I think they're still casting, though.
Yeah, it's weird.
Weird. Even though they shelved it on the day Akira actually takes place, so
Right.
the disrespect is strong. Like, thanks, WB.
So,
It's like-
I mean, in the wake of that, Taika freed up, and Marvel Studios was like, hey, here's Thor 4.
or
Which
Thor.
is
Just Thor.
really weird
Yeah.
that Thor is the one that we're getting a number 4 of. Because they stated before everything's a trilogy, and then here they come being
I
like,
mean,
Hey.
let's be real. Thor has only had 2 movies.
that is true.
We're not counting
Whoa.
one of them.
Oh,
But
he's
Endgame
had one
made
good
the
movie.
one good.
True, he's had 1 good movie and 2 actual
That
movies.
he was a co-star in. So
So,
But I honestly think Avengers is kind of like the, hey, maybe we can start doing fours.
yeah. I mean, the thing with the whole, like, 4th Thor film, it makes sense to me because he's the character that can continue on like that. Like, Iron Man's arc is done with his films. Captain America's has wrapped up. We have a new Captain America. Thor, just, sure. And, like, let's be real. Robert Downey, Chris Evans, yeah. What other franchise does Hemsworth have?
He doesn't.
I mean, he doesn't have Men in Black, which people thought was going to be it. So it's like, well, you can get him back for another huge contract, which then goes back to the rumors we had weeks ago that he's going to sign a huge new deal. It's like, you know
Yeah.
what? If they have to keep him around for another decade and he's always there for the Avengers, that gives it some of that nice connective tissue to the older films so you never feel like you left everything behind. Like, I'm all for this. Like, it's not what I would have, like, wished happens, but I'm okay with a 4th Thor film in the long run, I guess.
He's also a god, so unless they kill him, he's gonna be around and outlast everybody else. He's what, 1,500 years old?
Yeah.
He's at least 1,500.
Yeah. I think he even said that. So it's like he's the one character who can continue on, like Armin said. And at least with his new character arc, I'm hoping they don't make him like insta back to skinny Thor. Like, obviously we have Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which he's going to be a part of.
Or
then
is he now?
I say, see, that's the interesting part. What
Right.
comes first? Because if this has come out, like, surely this has got to be first.
I think they're shooting this like this fall. Like, I honestly think it's going to take that November release
Really?
date.
What, this quickly?
I honestly think so.
Or do you mean like next year?
No, like this year.
Because that'd be. No, they can't write. They can't do that quickly.
I
They
honestly,
haven't got
I
a
don't know.
script yet, sure.
Maybe they do have a script and he probably had ideas
I mean, it'd be true.
already.
They could have one. They could have one. That's
I mean,
fair.
remember
But,
Taika was talking about doing a fourth Thor with Hemsworth before Ragnarok was even out. They're like, oh, we got plenty of ideas where we want to go. I'm like, well, maybe, I don't
yeah,
know.
but they haven't got like a cinematographer. They haven't got like a
That is true.
crew in that. Like we don't know anything about it. Like
It's
it
Marvel.
feels too early for it.
They can sit there and
Don't do it.
pull some strings.
I legit
I mean,
think
see,
it's.
here's the thing. They pulled some strings for Shang-Chi because that's like the
Oh, yeah.
third movie shooting quickly. So I don't know. I'd be surprised if it starts shooting in like the next 6 months.
My
I
prediction
think
is
it is
by
gonna come out,
January
like-
they'll be rolling forward with it. Like, I think it's gonna shoot before Guardians.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's my
definitely.
feeling. Because
Well, James Gunn is still on the WB stuff
Right.
right now, so he
Yeah.
has to finish.
and God
with
knows
that.
there will be slight delays there for that because it's WB. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we'll
I'll say
talk.
that. I can see. Isn't there a November date in 2021?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'd put it there easily.
Which we all thought, honestly, I think we were all leaning towards maybe that's Doctor Strange too, because the November
Yeah.
release. But now it could be Thor or Doctor Strange. So, hell, why not team both of them up from?
It's like, isn't Doctor Strange filming early next year?
It's supposed to, yeah.
So then like that can
Yeah.
easily fit into. I think it's March or May they got for 2021. So
True.
and then you got Shang-Chi, Doctor Strange, and Thor for 2021.
Right.
Which,
Well, I
that's
mean,
jumping ahead in topics. So.
with that in mind, though, what do you think? Like the story approaches. Where are they going with this?
There's only two people I want, and I don't care
Enchantress?
which one it is. Mangog or Gore. I think they're the only two. Like out of everything Thor has, like you have to do Mangog at some point. You don't Ragnarok, you got to do Mangog.
So we want to jump straight to God Butcher territory.
I mean, you could jump into that. Like I was talking to people on Twitter yesterday, and they're like, "No, Gore before Mangog."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, no, like I want to do Mangog then Gore."
Mm-hmm.
Like, Gore, you kind of want them at their peak, and like Mangog, where they are now, it would make a bit more sense with Odin gun and everything. but
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I just want those two. Like, they're the two biggest stories left, really. Unless you're doing Enchantress or someone. But
I mean, to me, it's like once you've done a film called Ragnarok, I'm just kind of like, even though it wasn't the real Ragnarok, it was like
Kind
this
of
little
one.
thing that they did. It's not
I'd
like
say
the Viking
the Ragnarok event happened. It
Right.
just wasn't like a proper full-on Ragnarok.
Right. So, to me, I'm hoping they go, I guess, a little bit more personal. Like,
I want to see more growth with him, especially
Yeah.
if they're going to film him soon. And there has to be, if they're filming Thor 4 first, okay, so they have to have him either come off of the Guardians of the Galaxy ship.
I mean, let's put this into context, though. Is he going to take that year break now that he was talking about from Hollywood? Because
Oh, yeah.
that's a weird one, too, because he said he's taking it, and he's like, I don't know.
I mean, he still could.
Yeah.
So it really depends on, like, where they're going to be doing this filming. Because if it is going to be before or after Guardians, he has to be fat for it. Like,
I hope so.
and I
That's my
really-
favorite version.
I want him to stay that way and maybe becoming even more confident and being like, you know what, I'm going to rebuild myself and still be like a little bulkier, but create a different like image for
And
himself.
I wouldn't mind if they did the whole, like... Because you know how they have King Thor, obviously. You read Thor, Mitch. So I wouldn't mind if they went more of that direction as well. Like, maybe age him a little bit, do a little bit more with that. Like, I feel there's a lot to
you
Thor.
you can kind of like allude to the start of that that
Right.
journey, but lob his arm off, get rid of it.
Oh, yeah.
And
No,
there you
I've been
go.
wanting that forever.
You just start towards King Thor that way, and maybe knock his eye out and make you could. It's Tiger, so you can make a joke
Yeah.
out of that.
Now, here's one thing I want, because I know Marvel considered it before, but I would like to see Boulder. Like,
Yeah, Boulder would be cool.
because, I mean, he's still in that family, so, I mean, that's
You
the
could
one...
use Boulder to tie in Mangog.
Yeah,
Hey,
you
since
can.
Odin's gone, I've got the rightful claim. I'm the brother to the throne. So
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
been watching over Mangog, even though it's kind of similar to Hela and Odin, but
That's all right.
who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Just give me
Rebuild.
big yellow Jack Kirby Mangog with the red hands.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think we're all like, yeah, we'll take a fourth Thor, especially that the third one was the best one. Like, what, you know, it's not the first thing I would have wanted, but like in the long run, I'm real excited. I'm gonna get more excited the moment they reveal something. I'm like, yeah, I'm in, I'm done. You know,
Yeah.
like,
Now
sure.
the question is, does this lead into 2 more sequels,
I hope so.
and we get like an actual good Thor trilogy?
I really hope so.
So
Like, that's
the
my
new
hope.
trilogy is going to start with Ragnarok and go that
Yeah.
way.
I suppose you could just do one more after Thor, or not Thor, after 4,
Yeah.
and just be like, hey, there you go. There's 3 good Thor movies.
I mean,
I keep saying 4 for Thor and then Thor for 4. It's really starting to annoy me.
well, see, like, it makes sense because, you know, like, it's so all over the place with these, and you know, if you could take like the Fox or Sony approach and like work a 4 in there somehow and be like totally on the nose and.
Well, just put you in Thor.
Here, I'm going to throw a wrench in this. They're going to give Thor 4, but it's not going to be Thor. It's going to be Thor passing the torch, and it's going to be Jane Foster.
Now,
Okay, maybe not Jane.
I was gonna say not Jane because I
But-
don't want
say,
her back.
I take that and twist it to making it Valkyrie.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Just make Valkyrie the Jane Foster Thor, you know, because we ain't gonna get like bloody what's her name,
Natalie Portman.
Portman. Yeah, we're not gonna get her back.
No.
You know, they had to use unused footage from the Dark World for Endgame. So
Yeah, and just have her like do a quick voice. So. Yeah, that's
Because
Yeah.
then, if it's, say if Thor 4 comes out before Guardians, right? He's passing the torch. She becomes the new Thor. So we have Valkyrie as a Thor, or as Thor. And then he goes off on his journey with them. Because he already gave her the kingdom.
yeah.
She is now queen.
And then we can get that new Asgard Disney Plus series where she's building it.
please.
I'll take
Or-
it. I need it.
What if we do it so like this movie's her journey getting like a hammer or the all weapon or whatever they're gonna give her? Then you kind of mix in Siege and you bring in Osborn. That way.
I
It might be
actually
a bit
really
too
like
soon for
Siege.
Osborn. I mean,
Yeah.
Siege is good. Siege was cool. No.
Like Siege was built off the backbone and a build up to something else, but if you read it with those other events in mind, you're like, this was really solid. Like it's, yeah, I would love that. That'd be good.
Ooh, have Norman Osborn dig up Mangog and just change it around a little
Yeah.
bit, and that's how you do Siege. And it's
Yeah.
Valkyrie. And then maybe bring in Hemsworth, who knows? But no. That's one
Yeah.
idea. For it.
So, I mean, I'm pretty sure we're going to talk more about the fourth Thor film down the road plenty of times as
yeah.
it gets closer and as we start getting more info. So, yeah, stay tuned, and we'll be back with more Thor. Good old Sony with their 2 steps forward, 13 steps back, and then they trip and fall down the hill like Homer Simpson in fucking goddamn caves. All right, so Sony, they have no idea where Venom 2 is at. How goddamn backwards is this company?
This is why they're gonna get brought out by someone.
Obviously, they're waiting for how Morbius and Craven do before they.
But
even do.
but Venom made $1 billion. Doesn't matter what Craven and Morbius do.
Well,
Like,
to
they're
them,
completely
it's to them.
irrelevant to the Venom franchise.
So-
Yeah, they're gonna make a team up with all 3 of them. It's gonna be called Concrete Jungle.
Oh my god.
I hate you. That is the worst idea that they're gonna do. That is terrible.
Tristan's secretly Amy Pascal. That's what it is. She's actually giving us the leaks right now.
So here's the thing right here. Sony has 2 dates: July 31st, 2020, and that's most likely
Automatically.
Morbius, and then October 2nd, 2020. That we thought was Venom. But if they can't commit to that, and it's a year and 3 months away, what is happening over there? Like,
I really
Maybe
hope
Tom
they.
Hardy's just like, nope.
I think Tom's probably sitting there, be like, I want to be a part of Marvel. Can we just, guys? I'm sick.
yeah.
Wait until like somebody buys them out. He's like, yeah, I'm Marvel now.
Like, this is so backwards to me that, from what we even understand, like, they're still trying to figure out what direction they're going to take the story in, so they're not even really working on a script yet. And I'm like, oh boy. Like, this is this is Sony at its peak right now. Like, they have. Ugh.
This actually scares me because if they're nowhere with Venom 2, which
That
is
means
their...
they're really confident with Morbius.
No, that means that they're also nowhere with the Spider-Verses.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that
I
means
mean, not
they're-
necessarily. That's a completely different department.
Oh.
True, because they are working with Marvel to a degree on the Spider-Verses, so... Yeah.
And Marvel
And they
will make
have
sure
said
they're
they
on
got
the
like
timeline.
12,000 plans for Spider-Verse. So
True. I don't know, it just... To me, it's like, Venom was such a huge success. What part of you sits there and goes, okay, we had this huge success, clearly we got to get the next one out so we don't suffer some of the Deadpool effect. And then they're like, yeah, we'll move on that in, I don't know, 2 years after its release. It's like, Sony literally has not put out a hit since, like, Venom. And we don't count, like, Far From Home because it's part of, like, Marvel Studios, so that was guaranteed to be a big hit. Like,
Yeah.
they have nothing they're putting out that makes money. Like,
Jumanji.
Yeah, Jumanji's the only thing.
oh, that'll hold them off. That'll
Yeah.
hold a year.
Yeah,
I mean,
just-
that'll be a
like-
nice property for Apple in 6 months.
Yeah.
No.
True.
because I know that they're doing Jumanji 2 right now.
Oh, it looks so good, though.
It looks great.
Oh my gosh,
I
I
can't
cannot
wait.
wait for that movie.
I never thought I'd be saying that, but that's like one of my most hyped for movies.
Freaking Danny DeVito, come on.
Oh. I can't wait.
But it
Yeah.
really is astonishing that they didn't just jump on it, get Tom Hardy again, and be like, all right, let's get this going, let's film this next movie,
Like-
and a year or two it's releasing a year or two after it came out. Not we're going to think about it, sit on it, throw someone out of a window, and then eventually get there.
Because, like, that 2020 release date was a perfect 2-year gap for it.
Yeah.
So, if they're not meeting that, it's like, okay, what exactly are you
Maybe
doing?
it's something as simple as like Tom Hardy found out the contract's not real and they're struggling to get him back.
Oh my god.
It's just something like that. He's like, hey, wait a minute, no, this isn't real. No.
I mean, maybe they ran out of budget to buy Woody Harrelson a new wig. And
I
they're like,
could be.
hold production. That wig
They're
was
like,
too much.
guys, we used Carnage in the first movie. How can we do him again? No.
That is
That-
true,
that's
though. They did do Carnage. He just wasn't red.
Just like, God damn it. That's supposed to be for the sequel.
So, then looking at Venom 2, and I mean, hypothetically, I'm not saying like they're behind on schedule because God knows the first one finished writing the script, cast everybody, started shooting, and went out to theaters in a year time. So it was a quick turnaround, so they could do it. But if you're gonna do that again, we know what to expect again, and like there will be people that saw the first movie out of curiosity and they hated it and they're not gonna go see the second one. So I'm feeling like this could suffer a Deadpool 2 where it's diminishing return and like Amazing Spider-Man 2
Yeah.
where they're like, I'm not
Does that
returning.
mean
'cause
we'll
I didn't
get a
like the first one."
PG-13 Venom movie?
Oh boy,
And it's just going to be recapping the first one.
Venom's Christmas Carnage special.
Oh my gosh.
How the Venom stole
Yeah.
Carnage.
Either that, or it's gonna be a Christmas themed Maximum Carnage, where Carnage is going to have to get some presents for his children.
Oh my god.
It's just Woody Harrelson chewing cookies under the tree for 2 hours.
Oh.
Oh man,
I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. Like,
yeah.
at this point with Sony, it's like, yeah, sure, why not?
I mean, I will say I will go see Venom 2 whenever the hell it happens, just because I like to punish myself, and there's a possible chance they'll connect it to Morbius, and I'll have to see it then, because Morbius is the greatest film of all time, releasing next year in July. Make sure you go see it.
I feel like you missed a word in the greatest of all time. So.
Hashtag let's talk Morbius.
Oh my gosh.
Hashtag let's know.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, Sony, we know you're struggling, and here's kind of the interesting pattern I want to talk. If we look at Sony and how they are right now, how only a few movies are making money, and if we just look at the reports of Disney buying Fox and the financials for the last year of theatrical releases of Fox, guess how many have made a profit?
One.
One. And that
That was a
profit-
complete guess, by the way. I didn't actually know.
And that profit is pocket changed because it was Elita. So,
Oh, God.
look, Sony's in the same boat that, like, you were in as Fox when they decided to sell. you have to realize that something is going to budge with
Yeah.
Sony, because Sony's higher ups, the guys that took over for Kaz Hirai a couple years ago and all those guys, they've been very vocal on wanting to sell because it is a losing
Yep.
division that they can't keep up with. With the news about Venom 2, they don't know what they want to do, wanting to work more with Marvel Studios and all that, and potential buyers being lined up and then wanting to dump it. How long do you think before we're in that scenario where they're sold to someone or somebody just
I
buys
wouldn't
them?
be surprised if in the next 12 months we hear that someone's like gunning to buy it.
I'd say official 3 years.
Yeah.
And we'll
yeah.
then in 5 we'll have Spider-Man like 100%.
Marvel
So how long
Studios.
did the whole Disney Fox thing take?
It took 12 months to officialize and complete it, and then the last like 4 months to do the whole last leg of agreement across foreign
Yeah.
countries.
It's, most likely like 3 years once the buyer knows that it's just Sony Pictures and nothing else.
And
I say I give Apple like 2 years and they'll have it.
yeah.
No, they got the streaming service. They need, not that Sony has a lot of IPs, but there's, Jumanji something.
I think
Men in
the
Black maybe something.
I think the current announcement of HBO Max shows you how big Warner Brothers and Disney's catalogs are going to be going up against Netflix, and people are already writing the articles on Netflix being like they can't keep up. Sony can't keep up either, neither can Paramount. Universal can to a degree. It's going to one of those three, and Paramount ain't going to be it, so you're looking at Apple and or Universal taking them. And it's going to be a quicker merger because they're not taking games or anything. They're just taking Columbia Pictures, the Sony film division. So,
Yeah, Universal just needs to keep cranking out those Fast and Furious movies.
yeah. Yeah, actually. Guys,
One day people will wake up and realize they're not good movies.
guys, do you realize the potential? Hobbs and Shaw meets the Men in Black. Oh my god.
I mean, at this rate, why not?
Dude, you can
No.
reveal that one of them was an alien. That's why they can do superhuman stuff. Oh man, I need this to happen. Universal, please buy Sony. I need it.
Oh my goodness.
Tie that in with 21 Jump Street, greatest film franchises ever.
Yep. Yeah, we get space alien
Ghostbusters.
cars too.
Yeah. Oh man.
Well, just think, we can all be happy that potentially, I'm saying 3 years. Sony,
I say 3 years is a decent little, it's
Yeah.
probably a more realistic one.
Yeah.
3 years, everything is going to be almost 100% back to Marvel. They'll at least have all Spider-Man properties back at Marvel. They'll probably have a little bit more Namor at that point because, I don't know, Namor somehow is everywhere.
With how Namor's rights work, I wouldn't be surprised if he's tied up with Spider-Man somehow.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So then we'll actually get Morbius done correctly. We're going to get Venom done correctly.
I'm quickly just looking at Sony's slate right now. So, Charlie's Angels. Oh, that gonna flop.
Zombieland 2.
Angry Birds 2, Zombieland. I don't know. Zombieland 2 could go either way. It could be too long,
No,
or it could
it's
be
been too long since Zombieland 1. It's
Right.
dead.
Bad Boys for Life, The Grudge,
Peter
Oh
Rabbit
yeah, they're
2.
remaking The Grudge.
Bloodshot, Escape Room
Bloodshot ain't
2.
getting made.
Oh yeah, no.
Untitled
Let's go.
Ghostbusters.
Uncharted, boy, Uncharted. Masters
Aren't they
of the
fast
Universe?
tracking?
They're
Uncharted
doing
'cause
their
of
own
Tom Holland?
Cinderella
Apparently.
and a Hotel
Ye-
Transylvania 4.
Yeah. Well, on the Uncharted thing, they are fast tracking it because I think the director said he's not going to do basically an adaptation of the games. It's going
So-
to be a prequel.
Hear out my
just it.
conspiracy theory here. Sony is launching forward with their gaming division doing TV shows because
Yeah.
they want to become a Marvel Studios like property and just keep on to the game franchises and sell off the films. I think Shay's right. 3 years where they're done. Like there's, it ain't even
Say
a
3 years tops.
Yeah.
If it's anything less, I wouldn't be surprised. If it's anything more, I'd definitely be surprised.
same.
Yeah, 3
Yeah.
years, everything will be just 100% finalized.
Once they get the PS5 out there and they have tons of money, they'll announce, hey, we're now splitting off into our own Sony PlayStation division, separate from everything. We're taking our TV show IPs and we're going to produce those in-house. Here's the film division to Apple or Universal. It's got to happen.
I hope you like Power Season 3. 'cause
Woo!
get that back.
That one dude at the Bethesda panel right now. Yeah, I love it.
I was paid to be here.
Todd Howard. Yeah. That'll be me for Morbius opening night with 3 people in there.
3?
Yeah, it's because it's gonna be me, our daughter,
Oh.
and Armin.
I'll drive
no
one of our
Morbius
friends.
fans either. Just
There are no Morbius fans.
That's fact.
You have better luck at finding unicorn shit. No.
Actually, you can go online on Amazon and buy unicorn shit. So
Oh, of course you can buy it on Amazon. Prime Day 2019. Unicorn poop.
It's so true, but hey, that's the thing. So we'll come back and we'll talk more about the potential Sony future and their films. Let's get into some leaks around here. Potential
Okay.
Marvel 4 phase leaks due to some well, let's just call it internet detective work. So Mitch, what has potentially leaked out there recently?
Well, for those that don't know, just to explain what's actually happened, people found inactive Facebook pages, which it's kind of a 50-50 thing. Like, yes, they do this, but it's not necessarily 100% confirmed. But the ones people have found, well, the 3 that I definitely know of, were Dark Avengers, Young Avengers, and Ironheart.
Yeah.
Now,
My
the problem with all
goosebumps.
this is it wasn't said what it was before, like a couple of hours after people were like, oh, there's inactive Facebook pages. So maybe people could just make these and then make them inactive. I don't
Right.
know, but like,
So,
these things exist. Like if it was going to be some random person, it probably wouldn't be inactive because they wouldn't be hiding anything.
So here's
Yeah.
how this works, and I'm gonna go in the Wayback Machine. To some of you kids aren't even gonna know what the hell I'm talking about right now.
Get
So
around a campfire, kids.
Grandpa Armin's tell you the story of the internet and the .com boom.
Oh,
So
back in the way in '99.
so literally back in like 1999 and all those early days, websites would get bought up all the time. And before the social media boom and all that, if you went to like warnerbrothers.com / like Batman and Superman, you would go to their old cartoon page for the animated series and, you know, like the shared universe for the cartoons, right? So people started doing that in masses, and I used to be back on those forums, you know, like many people were, and people ended up uncovering Batman versus Superman, and it was a placeholder. So Batman vs Superman was inevitably announced, and then it never happened. But you know the logos were out there and all that, so we knew it was happening. A lot of Facebook pages today generate the same way, and studios will pay Facebook to hold it in anticipation for something. Now, sometimes this could
Yeah.
become nothing. They just don't want somebody else stealing it, and we've seen this with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because before it was ever called that by Disney or at Marvel Studios, fans took that page. And there was kind of
and that was huge.
and it was huge, and people thought it was the real page, and they were no wiser to it that there was a bunch of people misleading people. So now they're kind of building contingency plans for this. It doesn't guarantee everything is real, but the fact you can find these, but then if you type in like, you know, / Marvel's Moon Knight or something, there's nothing there. It's a little bit more telling that some of these could be real. Like that's what I'm trying to tell people here. So it goes all the way back.
If you search it on desktop, you can tell there's a clear difference between it doesn't exist and like isn't inactive. Like if it doesn't exist, you'll get like a thumbs up. You get the thumbs up on mobile for anything, so don't worry about that. But like if desktop, it will say like page is inactive.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very clear difference between telling what it is. But
Right.
it's just interesting that it's Dark Avengers and Young Avengers.
Especially those are things that we sat there and we've been talking about, being like, hey, what do you think the new phases are going to be? Well, this is what they're basically already showing and telling us. And the end of Spider-Man, he's saying we need a new Iron Man. He knows he's not going to be a new Iron Man,
Right.
but we need something
I
like
mean,
that.
it kind of like, to me, it's like, oh, wait, now that his identity's out there, you know, all this stuff that's happening, it's like, now did the Dark Avengers go, see? There was bad stuff happening there. And to me, when I saw the Dark Avengers, the first thing that popped in my mind was doing the Circle New York shot, but with all the villains.
Yeah,
Like, I got chills. I was like, could you imagine, like, Osborn in the Patriot suit and Red Hulk and, I can't do it. Justin Hammer doing his little dance. I need that to happen right in the middle of New York.
Is he gonna floss or something? Just because.
Yes, he's hip with the kids now. He's been watching Twitch from jail. Of course.
What really got me is honestly Ironheart. Like, I'm so excited. We were sitting there like just predicting how could they do it, because if she's older, then you can sit there and have her be Captain Marvel's Morgan's daughter.
So, okay, let's talk about this one. Mitch, you might know the ages. How old was that little girl in Captain Marvel? Like, if they aged her up, would that age fit if she was
Monica?
snapped? Yeah.
Monica would be around the 30s,
Okay,
late
that's
20s.
that's what we figured out as well.
Yeah.
Like, probably 30, somewhere around there. So, is that a little too old for Ironheart? Like, if they were to make her, do they just introduce Riri?
There's no way they're going to make her Ironheart. There's no way.
That's what I was landing towards. I'm like, I don't know, but if they did, I think Ironheart's got to be like, it's got to be Riri, but I don't know how you go about introducing
I think in
her.
the direction that they're going, I don't think they would ever, merge two like people of color characters together.
Yeah, that is true.
I think that's kind of like, people being like, oh, make Morgan Ironheart. Like, no.
Nope.
That's definitely not going to happen. I'd love Morgan to take up the mantle, but it's not going to happen. No, I don't think you're going to get Monica as Ironheart. I mean, to be fair, you could.
You could, but you don't want
them.
to. Yeah.
But it's like,
No.
yeah. But then it's like, it's an interesting question because how can they do Ironheart? People like there's no established connection. Well, there wasn't in the comics anyway. No.
Like, are they gonna like give us some like flashbacks and it's like, oh, she worked at Avengers Tower for a while and she ended up making her own suit and she was very smart, so he left her behind like a version of Edith for her as well. But just
But
she's
then
gotta
you
figure
kind
it
of
out.
retreading Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah, it is true. Yeah, because
I suppose you could just you could literally just do Riri and just take out the whole Tony Stark AI bit and
Yeah.
kind of make her a Miss Marvel copy. So, I was just a fan of Tony Stark, like everyone else on the damn planet.
Yep.
But-
Yep. But
So
she
I
could
have
also
the
be the
smarts
one
to
who
go with
had that next step. Like, you never know. Like, how many times have pieces of Iron Man's armor just been broken off and somewhere she could have sat there and done a Vulture? Like,
Yeah,
she
sure.
created it, and instead of doing evil with it, she created a suit. And only now that Tony's gone,
Yeah.
she's able to sit there and be like, I need to do this.
She finds one of his helmets and retrofits it to her own armor. There we go. I'll take
So
it.
all she's really got to do is she's got to somehow get the blueprints. That was a main part of telling you how she's
Yeah.
smart.
Yep.
Maybe you could replace Tony with Pepper, and she shows up in the not Ironheart, the rescue armor.
Yep.
And that's how you get that connection in down. Like his Friday, that was his AI, or something like that, and just do it
Yeah.
that way. But
Actually, yeah, that would
Ironheart's
work.
the one on the list that came out that I was like, no. I know there's a script floating around, but that wasn't exactly Marvel asking for a script. It was like someone just wrote a script.
Right,
That's-
and yeah.
It also came out hours after Dark Avengers and Young Avengers, so it's like, is that just someone making it up? Like, it's-
I think this one, because even Kevin Feige's openly talked about it in interviews now. Like, when her name is brought up, he talks about it. He doesn't dismiss it. He doesn't do his like passive lying, which is telling the truth. He openly talks about that character. I'm just like, so there's clearly motive. Like, there's a difference when he says, oh, what about Moon Knight? He's like, well, we look at all 1,800 characters that Marvel has in a rich history, because he always says that. Or when somebody says, hey, what about Ironheart? He's like, oh, we love Ironheart. We can't wait to do something with that character. It's like, there's a difference there.
there's a difference, but I don't know. It's like, is it too soon?
Maybe that's
Like,
Well, think about it this way. How soon are we going to actually get that movie?
what, a Champions or a Young Avengers movie or an Ironheart one?
Any of them. Like, these are movies that we already have a pretty full potential slate that's going to be announced. So that sounds more like a phase 5. So that's probably another couple of years in their future.
I wouldn't be opposed to introduce Riri in one of the other side films like they did Spider-Man and Black Panther, and then have her take on her own film once the audience responds that they want it, which they will. It's Marvel Studios, so
We've
yeah,
even
I'd be
talked
okay with
about
that.
maybe she's a part of the Wakanda outreach.
Yeah, like Shuri.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that
one way
would-
of doing it.
And especially if you sat there and how Pepper is just giving money out because she wants to make sure that Tony's name and legacy and his company are still in good standings with the people. She could have gone in one day in maybe her rescue armor and been like, hey, look at this. Like, this is what you guys could potentially do, and be one with the Wakanda outreach doing this. And there she is, like, sparks all of her interests. And it's like, oh my God. And then she just builds her own, not in a cave, but in her classroom or something. And just
she does build it in her dorm.
Yeah.
So
yes.
that's one way of doing it.
So there's a lot that they could potentially do with it and be able to easily tie her in. And they're going to do just like Marvel does. Have to retell the story in a way that it's going to fit this cinematic universe. Because it's not... They stay true as much as they can to the comics, but it is more a retelling in our cinematic universe instead. So
Yeah.
there's a lot they're going to be able to do with this. And it's just going to be a good and bad uproar at the same time, where the good is going to surpass all of the negative outroar. But I'm excited. That is the one I'm more excited for. Young Avengers is, I already talked about before in a previous podcast how I'm excited for that. This one I'm even more excited for.
Yeah, I can't wait. I want to see what they have to offer. So, some potential leaks out there. Obviously, we'll find out this weekend what was
we'll
true and
find
what
out
wasn't.
Saturday.
So, stay tuned. DC decided to skip San Diego with the film division, but they're sending the TV side of things over to try to hold down the fan base.
I guess that released the Snyder Cut. What is it? That poster thing that they have over there in San Diego is not really going to do
Fun
any
fact
good.
about that: that's nowhere near Comic Con.
Oh, that's what they were
Where is it?
saying.
It's as far removed from the convention hall as you could possibly get.
Oh.
Like, there's going to be no Comic Con traffic from that. So well done for wasting your money, guys. You could have put that like 10K to
Well,
good use. But,
so basically, they chose the cheapest, the cheapest position possible.
I don't think they chose. I think that's all they could get.
Okay.
No. It's literally just like a bus stop. And it's like, okay, cool. Like, well done. You accomplished something, I suppose. So well
Something
done.
has been done.
So it's not even one of the shuttles to the convention center. It's just at a bus.
No,
stop.
it's literally just a bus stop. Yeah.
My favorite part is, though, if somebody sees that's like, huh, Justice League got, and they look up, release the Snyder Cut, they're going to get, like, a bunch of people just yelling at other people and telling them to kill themselves if
Yep.
they don't support
Yep.
this movie. Being like, oh wow.
Yeah.
This seems...
But I mean, it had Darkseid in it.
Ah!
That's the advert.
Ah!
It's just like, yay.
I would have liked to see
Wow.
Darkseid, I'll be real with you.
I
but...
mean, it would have been cool, but like the fact that they're advertising that as like the big draw, it's like,
Right.
oh, the good Justice League that featured Darkseid. It's like, yeah, wow.
I like
No.
I like the idea that someone's going to look at that being like, oh, Justice League was going to do Thanos, huh? Huh. Cool, I guess.
Why is Thanos grey? I don't get it.
Yep. So yeah, with DC skipping with the film side, they're bringing the TV side of things. So let's talk about a little bit about the film side of everything. So next year and this year they have Joker coming out, and then like 5-6 months later they have Birds of Prey, which we got a big old leak out there, which sounds rather insane. And then they have Wonder Woman, which I'm surprised
Yeah.
they didn't bring that a year away. Like
You would have thought they would have.
you would
but
think.
Maybe
Is
they'll
it-
go to New York instead.
Yeah.
Possibly. But
It-
I suppose New York's cut is not as big as San Diego, but it's,
Right.
it's still pretty big.
I mean, possibly because you know that the DC is in I think it's at Burbank now. So
Yeah, they
Yeah.
moved everything.
Which makes it weird. Of why skip the one
That-
that's literally right
yeah,
on your
that's
doorstep
why-
and then goes to the
yeah.
one that's across country.
yeah, that's why everyone's kind of scratching their heads. It's like when they do it in San Diego now, then at New York, since they are stationed here.
And they
instead
do
of in
always
New
have a
York.
pretty big booth at New York, I could tell you that, but they don't make announcements there. But to me, I don't know if it's just worrying, the fact that they're not coming this year. Like, you finally have things to show off. Like, you actually have things people are hyped about. Like, you could bring out, Pattinson and show off maybe him in a suit or something, or reveal the logo or some details, or officially announce something with Shazam 2 or Superman or anything. But
I say like
nothing.
they have a ton of stuff to actually show off, and it's really disappointing. And like I can understand the whole like maybe it's because Marvel didn't want to compete with it, but then if they didn't want to compete with it, that means they haven't really got confidence in what they have.
Exactly.
So oh no, we can't compete with that. It's just like come on, guys. Like,
I wonder also, it's like you have to realize, what if all of this tainted, unfortunate, bad blood fans have created it so that they're like, we just don't want to deal with that.
Oh,
so,
they have all that muted. They don't even know it exists anymore.
Yes, but then you're going to the biggest place that has
and
them.
Like, remember, like, Comic-Con is for the fans. Like, I still always bring this up when they showed early stuff for Green Lantern and Scott Pilgrim. Scott Pilgrim, everybody thought was going to be a $1 billion franchise because the fans loved it. Green Lantern, like, everybody ate it up, was like, this is it. DC's going to show Marvel what's up, and all the fans walked out happy. But that's the hardcore minor fan, you know? It's like, the most hardcore goes there. I think Warner Brothers probably saw, like, look, if we go here, the people that get in here, some of them are clearly going to, like, take it to that extra step of, oh my god, I can't believe you're actually doing this in public. Like,
See, now here's what I think is probably the actual reason is that they're more than likely tired of all their stuff leaking. It's like, what's the point in even bringing anything here if you're just going to get leaked out?
Well, that's why instead of just make it public when you're there, just make it public to everyone. Just don't make it a fully San Diego exclusive. It releases here first, then the public sees it right after. Like, do it that way, because right now they have their TV division, which is half canceled except for the CW side, which is like, they have some amazing content that they could potentially be bringing.
Mitch,
but it's okay because Doom Patrol is safe. Yeah, that's all they need.
Apparently, because they showed it on that HBO Max.
I was gonna say
now.
They're advertising it for HBO Max. That thing ain't going nowhere.
Okay.
So bless whatever God did that. You know.
Yes, but and like you guys were both saying before, they have so much on the up and up of the DC film side. It's really weird. DC, I made an analogy earlier. We've got a blender. DC's putting good and bad ideas in this blender. They forgot to put the lid on it. They put Ultra Blend, and just everything's being thrown everywhere.
It is true, though. That is a kind of like their working strategy. And I don't know, like, my hope would have been they show up this year, and you don't have to compete with Marvel Studios. We know you're not going to be able to keep up with them.
Nope.
But show confidence in what you have, right? Like, that 1 year they did it, and everybody's like, wow, they really showed up.
The whole Worlds of DC year, they had the giant banner going across everywhere. Like, everyone loved that. That announcement panel. Like, I just don't understand. Like, Wonder Woman, they've already kind of started marketing. Like, there's posters out for it, so why aren't you, just drop a little first teaser for it or something? You show Shazam like a year before it ever came out.
They could have literally just brought Wonder Woman for 30 to 45 minutes, had shown off, that, show some concept art, show maybe, a teaser trailer you release to the public, and then have a few extra surprises on there. And it's Wonder Woman. People would have showed up in droves, so it would have gotten headlines. Like, that's what kind of makes me confused. I'm just like, you have this here, and the TV side is showing up with all the confidence in the world, minus Stargirl. So I don't know what's up with that. Like,
it's Jeff Jones is probably running late.
Oh, it's Jeff. Oh yeah. Okay, so it'll come out right as Doom. Like, what's that? Doomsday Clock? Is that it? Is that thing still going on?
Yeah, still going on.
Woo! 2.5 years.
Still got 2 issues left, I believe.
Oh, so it'll be done by 2020. Perfect. Yep. Boy.
No, it's something with Jeff Jones. It's definitely something.
Yeah.
It's like, why not show Birds of Prey stuff?
Yeah.
Like, yes, that kind of had a big thing in like social media recently, but still, like, you clearly have faith in that movie because you got the writer for that to do the Flash. So why aren't you showing stuff off? Like,
now,
it doesn't make sense to me.
The fact that, like, we're hearing that out of some of the tests that happened with Birds of Prey, audiences were more on the positive side, but apparently eternally Warner Brothers was like,
I've heard Warner Brothers really like it.
See, I've heard the opposite for someone I talked to, but then on the opposite side, someone said the other thing. So I don't know what tests are being done where.
Say, I'd honestly go more with that they're happy with it because they got her for Flash.
Same. That was my thinking. I'm like, because she's.
Unless it's another Snyder situation where it's kind of like, oh, you're gonna owe us some money. Like, just take that movie.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not. From what I've heard, it's like apparently their best movie yet. So
That'd be nice. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, it's coming out.
Shazam is their best movie.
Oh, I mean, that's out. Yeah. That's. Well, what's better than Shazam? Come on.
I was just trying to think. Actually, that's why I didn't say anything.
That's what I
Like,
thought.
Like the one scene in Wonder Woman is better than the entire movie for Shazam.
No. Wait, are we talking about the goddamn scene Warner Brothers wanted to remove?
Yeah.
Okay, No Man's
That's why it's the
Land.
best one. Like,
That is the
that's
best
what it's
scene
called.
in the
I was
movie.
like, I can't think what it's called.
Yeah.
Oh, the No Man's Land.
Yep. So yeah, Warner Brothers. I don't know. Hopefully they'll announce stuff further down the road.
Maybe.
We'll see. Question mark.
At least they've stopped doing like every week and announcing a new movie.
That's true.
Like when was the last time they did the Monday roulette thing? Like,
It's been a while. I loved
maybe
Monday
they just ran
Roulette.
out. They just ran out of characters. Like we've used everyone.
We've announced everything. Back to the drawing board, boys. With San Diego Comic-Con literally happening, like it's like the pre-show and everything going on.
Starting today.
Yeah, things
jeez.
are looking rather crazy. So we're gonna give I guess, our predictions of what we think Marvel's like fourth phase is gonna look like.
Are we doing a phase of what they're going to show at the panel?
Let's just say what they're going to show at the panel, and then possibly what could be a surprise or announcement or two. I think they show off a little bit more than just the imminent announcements, but I don't know.
It's like they've got an hour and a half, so I can't see it just being like, here's this, here's that, here's this.
Right? Yeah.
Well, like they have rumors of that they're going to be doing like a potential thank you of 10 years. That alone
That
can
makes
take
sense.
an hour.
Yeah.
I say they've got the original Six Avengers signing there, so no doubt they're doing like a thank you farewell thing for them.
Yep.
Started that off for like half an hour or whatever, and then
So I think the stuff we can all agree on, right? Black Widow, Eternals, Shang-Chi,
Yes.
Yep.
Doctor Strange 2, Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2 guarantee. Like those are all safe bets to go with.
Yeah. Maybe a timeline of like where they're going to be
Maybe, yeah.
coming out. Maybe not the dates, but like this
Right.
is their order.
Like show off the Netflix stuff, or not Netflix, the Disney Plus stuff that's going to rival Netflix.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, two of those shows, maybe announce a new one. I could see that happening realistically. And then we got a big old question mark.
See, now here's the thing: Spider-Man 3. Did they announce it or did Sony announce it? Because this is the first time that they've got like a new slate
Right.
where they've actually got they know they got a Spider-Man movie to be made. So
I think it was
it gonna be
Marvel
them?
that actually
I
said
can't-
that it was.
Well, Marvel said that, you know, like he was coming to Civil War, but okay, I'm gonna go with Disney's gonna announce it. Like they'll announce a third Spider-Man movie. It'll be Spider-Man 3, but it ain't gonna have a logo, you know, the title or something, you know, Home whatever. So
Maybe Home Alone.
sure,
Home
yeah,
Alone.
Home Alone, yeah.
homeschooled.
Oh, jeez.
He ain't going back to school after that ending.
No more
way.
home. It's gonna
Oh.
be. It's gonna be
That's
Spider-Man.
dark.
No more home.
He's gonna be on the run.
Yeah.
Homeless. Yeah. Take
Little
it.
bum Spider-Man.
So he's gonna turn into B. Parker
Yeah, he's gonna look all washed up and.
in sweatpants.
Ugh. I mean,
Poor Holland.
I mean, even if they don't, we know it's a guaranteed movie, so they don't have to per se announce it. But I feel like after the success, and they're literally like, they're out there. Far From Home is about to hit $1 billion. Like, why wouldn't you be like, hey, you're all liking Spider-Man, right? How about that shocking ending? Well, here's the third film. It's gonna happen in 2 years. Surprise! You knew it was coming. Like,
So it makes sense.
yeah, it
I think
does.
Thor 4's got to be in there as well. Like,
Yup.
I can't see why that would be announced now and not
I
be
mean,
there for Comic Con.
when all the Avengers walk off stage and Chris Hemsworth remains on stage, that's That would make
Can he
sense.
be wearing his fat suit, please? Like,
Yes.
do that.
Yes.
That would be amazing. He just comes
Give him
on
the wig
stage
and everything.
with his axe.
Oh wow, we missed the obvious on Guardians 3. They're gonna
yeah.
I predict they'll bring out James Gunn on stage.
See, my thing with Guardians is that too far away? Because I don't think they're going to announce everything.
Because they also do
So I
a
think they
D23 in what, like 2 months?
Yeah.
Yeah, and D23, they're not going to have a lot of time for that because that's more of a shared panel thing.
Right.
This is where this is all for them, like an hour and a half to themselves. They might get like 10 minutes in an hour and a half panel.
To me,
D23.
it feels almost like symbolic that you bring out James Gunn on stage a year from when you fired him, like almost to the date at the kickoff of
That's
San Diego.
true.
You know, like
That's true. Wow, it has been a year.
that
Christ.
to me feels like that would be like the ultimate. Hey, Guardians 3, and guess what? Guess who's back? And he comes out on stage. It's like, oh, okay, here we go. Like it's
We're
Yeah.
sorry.
yeah.
So I think you're guaranteed, like, you're definitely going to get Black Widow and you're going to get a ton from that. You
Yep.
might get some footage. They've been filming for a while. You'll definitely get concept art for Taskmaster and stuff.
I would like to
Eter-
see some
I think,
footage.
I think Eternals might take up the most amount of time.
Yep. Yeah.
Because, you know, it's a safe bet they're going to bring out the cast. So you're going to have, like, Jolie, Hayek,
Oh, yeah.
Madden. I'm saying Millie Bobby Brown. I don't care what everyone's being like.
Same.
Oh no, she can't do it. It's like no, she's there. I know she's denying it, but like she's there. Like,
Yo,
Well, she's also sat there and denied things before, and then like 2 days
Yeah.
later, it's like,
I mean,
haha.
okay, Brie Larson denied she was in Captain Marvel at San Diego Comic-Con 3 hours before she walked out on stage. Like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
same with Black Panther cast, same with other like this
I
is
was
just
gonna say Paul Rudd denied it. Cumberbatch denied it.
Paul Rudd
like-
literally 24 hours before on a red carpet was like, I've never heard those rumors. I don't even know what Ant-Man is. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
And like they all say the exact same things. It's kind of like, yeah, just like
You
unless
got-
Millie, unless she's the one time where it's actually like I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
She's like,
Maybe she knows she's going to be in a Marvel film, and they haven't told her what it is. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about, guys. I'm
They
just
told
a
her she's
kid.
in
I just like
Inhumans.
everyone jumping on how she said it. It's like I'm not in one yet. It's just kind of like it's because the deal's not signed, is it?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
The ink's not dry, so we all know.
To me, Eternals has also got to use up a big chunk of time because they got to tell everybody why this is the most important franchise
Yeah,
going forward. Like, no, we're not dealing with just the future. We're dealing with the entirety of Marvel. Like, everything here now. Like, it's kind of important, you know? Like,
So I would say Shang-Chi would get a fair chunk of time as well, but we don't know if they got a cast for that yet.
exactly. That's the
Like
thing.
there's rumors that they're trying to gun for one right now.
Mhm.
It's like I don't think you're gonna get it in time, to be honest. But
We're going to get Namor's actor.
I mean, we could. At this
Don't
point,
do
who
this
knows?
to me!
I think it's more likely you get the Fantastic Four as a little like end off. Like they walk out and come back on again.
Oh, can we
Like,
just
hey,
can we just have the thing sit there and be like, oh, did you guys see this? The poster that was in, or the billboard in Far From Home. We're hoping you're excited for what's coming next, and the 4 is a question mark. Can we just like have that? And then that's when they announce Phase 4. Then they end it with Fantastic Four.
Yeah, it's all the future will be fantastic.
oh,
Yeah.
let's not. Let's not.
Is somebody actually going to walk on a stage with a drum kit and just be like, "Ba-dum, psh," and walk off?
Please. No, it'll be Feige will have a button that it just instead of the
It's
that
just
is
the
easy
air
button.
horn, just like no.
No. You guys are. He's gonna pull a Peter Moore from the old E3s with the tattoos, but Feige's
Oh,
gonna rip his
no.
shirt and it's gonna be a giant 4 on his chest.
He's just got all 4 of them on his back, like Ben Affleck and the Phoenix, just like yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Or he's tattooed his head like the Thing's rocks. That's why he's bald.
That he takes off his hat and his tattooed like a rock.
Oh my god.
That would be the greatest thing ever.
It's like, oh, it's time to admit Feige. Nah, he's gone nuts.
I would like it if he's just like, you guys weren't expecting a splash, were you? When he pulls a string and just everybody gets covered in water, he's like, "Namor, bitches," and runs off.
Now all your phones are broken. Ha ha.
He like slimes them all like those old Nickelodeon shows, except it's water and Namor.
They still slime people on the awards.
What?
Yeah. It's
What,
their
like
biggest thing.
What, like MTV or something?
No, Nickelodeon awards. They still
Nickelodeon
slime.
doesn't get out of here.
Yes,
Stop
they do.
talking jibby jabber.
They have an
Apparently.
awards every
All right,
year.
you guys just trying to make no.
The Kids' Choice Awards.
Just YouTube it. They have it every year.
John Cena has hosted like the last 3 years of this.
That's it, because John Cena's gonna be the thing. It makes sense. Da, 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 da.
Oh.
This is the greatest panel. If it doesn't do all this, the panel I built up in my head and headcanon now cannot possibly be matched.
But what about Disney Plus shows?
All right, so we know the Winter Soldier and Falcon is happening.
Yeah.
Excuse me, it's the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah,
It's that way.
It's Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
That's true.
Not officially, actually.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So then,
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they changed the name on stage, like
Right.
Serpent Society.
They just
Be like, hey,
erase
yeah.
it. They're like, wait, hold on, I have the iPad for this, and they just sit there and they're like pulling like a Tony Stark during his trial, and they just go, hold on, and they're drawing on a pad, and it shows.
they're
up.
John Maddening new logos right in front of us.
Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
be hilarious.
So,
The intern's sweating because he's trying to make it quickly. It's like,
so then we know that's happening. We know Loki and we know WandaVision, right? So that's the three we
Yep.
know are official.
yeah, yeah.
How about left field? Like,
Avengers Academy, and that's where you put Casey. You have Ant-Man as one of the teachers, or Cassie, not Casey. Cassie.
I would love Scott Lang teaching people. So this is how we do break-ins. Didn't we just learn
Yeah.
that? That's all I know. That's all I know. I'm sorry,
No,
kids.
he's security now. Ex-con security.
No, he be teaching magic.
Yeah.
Oh.
All those magic cards.
Oh.
He'd be the magic teacher. And then you have Wasp. She's actually sitting there teaching them about Pym particles and science
I mean,
and like martial arts. And
It would. You know, I could see an Avengers Academy series. You bring in like maybe a Ruffalo and someone else to kind of oversee it, and then you have a bunch of younger, like
I think you'd need to announce other shows before that.
yeah.
You know, imagine if they did Iron Man 1, and it's like, hey, Avengers, and then it's like, oh yeah, then his Cap, his Thor, his... No.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. What are you feeling? I don't know. Like,
I think Hawkeye's a safe bet. Get
Yeah.
Kate in there.
yeah.
Maybe Sif, maybe.
Like-
Because What's Her Face is free.
To me, I want something unexpected. Like, I want something nobody's rumored about or something like that to kind of just shock us. Be like, wow, I did not see that coming. Like,
well, if you sit there and if it is the Avengers Academy, it's just an academy to help train the minds of the next generation of heroes.
but you need that big. You need an Avenger in there. Then that's the thing. Like,
Yeah, you've got Spider-Man, who's now finally has confidence in
well,
himself.
Sony ain't gonna let him on there. I don't have that feeling.
You've got Hulk. You can renegotiate Ruffalo's stuff. He's also CG, so all
you
you
could
need is
do-
his voice.
Do War Machine, I guess.
I
say War Machine was rumored a
Yeah,
while ago.
that's the
No.
one I would want. If they drop that, oh, give us the backstory so I could see him drop the damn tank.
Yeah. And also, Don Cheadle has said that they were working on the movie,
That's
but they
true.
never kind of like went anywhere. So maybe they worked it into a show.
Yeah.
I can see that happening. Just give us a Yelena. You know, if you're gonna have Black Widow, be like, here's Yelena. No, why not? And then she can start like the Avengers Academy or whatever.
Well, you can also have Pepper. She could be the one who actually helps fund and start it because
The new generation of heroes.
yeah, because it's something Tony wanted. He already gave Edith to Spider-Man. You have Happy watching over him. She can be helping and create this because she wants a school for Morgan
Okay.
to be a part of.
Would it be out of the realm of possibility that maybe Feige could oversee a Hulu show?
Oh, he's overseeing all of them.
Because, like, I know now they're going to be more connected and there's some... Like, I would like it if they're like, now, we're announcing a Hulu series and here's that Moon Knight Kevin Feige's teased before. Like, give him a Moon Knight. Like, don't give it to Jeff Loeb. No disrespect
like,
to Jeff Loeb, but...
Like they're the same at this point. Like, there's no like.
Right,
Not saying
now
that the
they're
people
one
are the same,
roof,
but like the company is like it's all one. Like, so if they announce, Marvel TV is there. So if they do announce like a Moon Knight or whatever, then Feige's still overseeing it to an extent.
Right. I want something none of us see coming. That's my thing. Like,
Can they also announce the crossover episode of Runaways and Cloak and Dagger?
yeah,
That will probably be in New York. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's where they
Yeah.
always take those shows.
yeah.
Just trying to think, what other shows could they do?
Blade. I mean, not
I
on
suppose they
Disney
could do
Plus,
Nova. Make Nova
Yeah.
a Disney Plus show.
but-
That's
Huh?
been rumored for a while.
If you do, if you do the younger Nova, sure. I mean, if you do Sam, that could really work.
I mean, you could still do it with Ryder.
That's yeah.
To
I mean,
make
they
it a
got-
police procedure in space. No.
Yeah.
Well,
NCIS space.
Are they going to sit there and do another space though show because they wanted to keep the shows more grounded while everything else is
The only grounded one of these shows is probably going to be Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, it seems that they're going a
One
little out
Division's
there.
not grounded in the slight. That's going to be like a. But...
well, I meant grounded meaning not in space.
Oh
On
no, it's
Earth.
space. Oh,
Grounded like home base.
on Earth. Yeah.
Can we what about Miss Marvel?
Yeah.
Then you can actually have
yeah.
like you can potentially bring in then Carol for a episode
Yeah.
and have Miss
Yeah,
Marvel.
finish it off with it. Yeah.
I think she gets built up honestly after the sequel. That's just my feeling on it.
So
But
the question is, do they do Young Avengers and Champions at the same time, or do they merge the two, or do they do one then the other?
oh, you could do
It's like-
same time.
Because like one isn't necessarily a
Right.
Young Avenger.
Now, okay, how about this? Is anybody going to mention what happened to New Warriors?
Probably not.
Okay, so another year after, like 3 years after they shot the pilot. Perfect.
I think it's like 4 now. They still want to do it. It's just kind of like I need to.
Yeah.
They're
Or they
gonna-
could come out at D23 and be like, "Hey, remember this? Like,
Yeah.
We've had to recast everyone now."
They're gonna show us the New Mutants trailer. The new Mutants.
But they want good headlines.
The new.
Oh.
New.
I mean, after the amount of reshoots, it would be new.
The newer mutants. Ta-da! This time with
New and
more
newest.
magic and stuff.
Give me a magic show, Marvel. That's magic with a K. One Ileana show.
It would be funny if they attempted to do recastings of that, or not recastings, but reshoots. When you sit there and you have the girl who plays Arya Stark, and she's like aged.
She's aged her 3 years since they shot it. Oh
Yes.
boy.
Even though she's like 20, so she shouldn't have aged that much. It's just like,
She's definitely like her face is mature. And
She's
aged.
gotten that brand growth where you look at him, you're like,
Yeah.
what the hell happened to you? So, I guess we'll know. But hey, next week's podcast, guys, we're gonna have a lot to talk about. So
We're gonna have to have like 3 podcasts next
So,
week.
join us there, and hopefully, San Diego ends up being worth the hype.
Yep, because for people who are listening right now, yes, we didn't talk about such and such getting announced because this was before.
Right?
I mean, this comes out before, anyways. That's alright.
Well, it doesn't matter. They do it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Someone listens to it like a week later, like, why did you talk about this? I was like, look at the date, dude.
They're my favorite comments. Like 2 years later, you didn't talk about this. It's like, well, you're funny that.
Have
2
you
years ago.
considered the year that this was recorded in? Thanks.
Oh my gosh.
So that is the end of the show, everybody. Look at that. We passed the hour mark. That's what San Diego hype does. It passes the hour mark.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've done one of these, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the full show. And San Diego Comic-Con is happening. For those wondering, they do live stream parts of certain panels, but the trailers and stuff do get cut off if they show them. So
I'd say they'll be on YouTube a couple of weeks afterwards. There's
Yep.
always, I can't remember what channel it's called. They always upload it.
Yep.
The Marvel TV one will probably get live streamed.
yeah.
And
But
for-
the big ones you'll get like the live vlogs.
Oh, except for one, because for whatever reason, Marvel's Avengers, the video game, is not going to be live streamed.
But isn't that only the gameplay footage?
No, I think they were gonna do like a Q&A and stuff like that, and it wasn't gonna be live streams.
I'm gonna
But they're
tell you
ha-
right now,
but
that
the
game
footage
has
is gonna be
like,
posted though.
that game has a solid 6 out of 10 written all over it. I have this
No.
feeling
Everyone's being too hard on it. It's fine. It's Puddlegate all over it again.
Yeah, because they said that they're gonna post gameplay footage and all that on YouTube or whatever else they're gonna post it, but I guess the Q&A and stuff is not gonna be live streamed because people were wondering if it was, and apparently the announcement was that they're not gonna do that.
Whack.
craziness.
You know what I would love? Since Disney and Marvel love their fans, just live stream the entire thing.
Like,
All of it.
I don't get why they don't, like, this has always been my thing with Comic Cons, right? You could literally be like, okay, for $100 at home, we're gonna sell you the pass, and the pass puts you to a live stream to each panel, and we won't shy away from the trailers. They would literally make bank to split with everybody. Like,
So basically, what Blizzard does every year.
Yeah,
with the Blizzard
yeah.
Con.
Yeah.
and it works. Like, it's so smart. It's like, oh, if you don't show up, you're not missing anything, and you don't have to wait in line with sweaty Cheeto men. So, you know.
Or fly and spend $7 freaking bajillion dollars just to get there.
Craziness. But
It's part of the
Flights.
experience.
San Diego. So we'll be back next week. Thanks for joining us, everybody. What you should do now is refresh the page and listen to this podcast again to make sure you heard us right the first time. And remember, Morbius 2020, hashtag greatest of all time.
No one remember that.
Yes,
Nope.
they will. Someone will. Someone's
will.
made it this far.
You're that someone.
Morbius hype.